And here we have the completion of the Shield ARF quest there. 600 coins, 1 quest point, very nice. We've hopped across to a free-to-play world as we're finally starting to meet up with some of our Group Ironman members there. They've got some very odd names there, so make of that what you will. We've got Aramale, we've got Black Shady, we've got Cincotash, and we've got Mummy 42069. So yes, feel free to judge away, but at least we're making some progress and working together as a team. So good stuff there. While working on completing the Night Sword, I realized that we really desperately need 15 cooking so that we can start cooking all of the trouts that we have. And there is level 13. All of the trouts that we have in our bank from our fishing ground that we completed earlier there, of course. We do have some salmon as well, which I think comes in a little bit later. We're just going to drop all the food that we pick up from here. But this will give us a few easy levels, and of course the easy way to do that, as we talked about earlier, I think in our first episode, we have our raw sardines here with Durant in our Port Sarum fishing shop. We just head down here, cook up some fish, and then we just drop absolutely everything here. So it'll be a very quick 15. See you back when we get to level 15. And that took no time at all, maybe less than 30 fish, 15 cooking, very nice. We can now cook trout. Huge upgrade for us, and we will get to that a bit later on. And here we have the completion of the Night Sword, another great quest for our early Ironman status there, of course, going from 1 to 29 smithing. It's such an amazing one, which is actually a great boon for us as well, as we're looking to do the tourist trap later on, which does require 20 smithing. It also needs 10 fletching, so I picked up a few more feathers there from our general store, and we can maybe fletch some arrowless, some headless arrows, arrowless heads. Wow, okay, that's something else entirely. We'll be going to do our fletching here shortly. There we go, level 29, beautiful. And then I'll see you with 10 fletching, and then we might go across and start out our tourist trap, our first time venturing into the desert there. And we've been very fortunate to be able to get our cat all the way, or our kitten, excuse me, all the way to a cat, so we can now trade it in with this character here, get 100 death runes, teleport back with our chronicle, of course, and pick up another kitten. And there we have 5 fletching, made a lot easier by attaching the feathers to the headless arrows here. If we were just creating the shafts, that would have taken a very long time, but let's just keep going until we reach level 10. And there we have 10 fletching, the prerequisite for our tourist trap quest. We also need to get a few bronze bars, so we'll have to figure out where to get those from, but otherwise everything else is pretty straightforward and simple. So happy days, let's continue on. In another case of trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, we're picking up enough bronze items there, obviously our copper and tin, as we do need to head down to Shantae's Pass anyway, where we know there's a furnace, so we can get a fair few, what do you call them, bronze bars, that's it, there we go. I even said it earlier and I've completely forgotten already, so that we have enough to smelt, and then later on we'll pick up some clay, we'll pick up some iron ore from here as well, and that'll allow us to also have enough there to complete Doric's quest. So yep, 2 birds 1 stone, good stuff, and we'll even get a mining level out of this or 2, bringing us up to 16 mining, very good. And here we have another classic case of trapping a mercenary captain behind a dialogue locked mercenary. Means that the mercenary can't move, and of course the mercenary captain cannot move through them. There's a kind of weird mechanic here in Old School Runescape where if I was to step over this mercenary and then move back, then all of a sudden this NPC behind it could stack on top of them. So there is kind of stacking there, and that's why you'll sometimes see in some of the Deadman modes and whatnot, there are kind of people following each other for bursting and blitzing. That might mean absolutely nothing to you, that's absolutely fine, but all you need to know is that right now I've done a very clever thing, and we should be able to take care of this mercenary captain with no trouble whatsoever. And here we have the conclusion of the tourist trap, where we get some fantastic experience there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Get our early agility experience. Of course it would be nice on the other ones, but you really have to go agility. Maybe make it so that we can go to our desert pyramid later, but also so that we can start working on our graceful, and also so that we can all bring back a little bit more run energy there a bit more rapidly. So let's take agility first. 4600. What do we go from level 9 up to 22? Absolutely gorgeous. And we'll choose the same again, agility once more, up to 27 agility, and I believe that is a quest requirement for, what is it there, the tree gnome one, whatever it's called, Grand Tree, which then gives us even more agility experience, so a very good opening start there. Huge. Look at that new swag there, we've gone from our black wizard to our white wizard, a little bit of a makeover as we enter the Grand Tree. Pick up our cream hat and our desert robes from our earlier quest. Nice little get up there, and of course we've got our black demon that we're going to have to skedaddle on out of so we don't take any direct damage. Can we run into here in time directly on top of Glow? If we can. Glow? Clow? I'm not too sure. Now if we go here, I believe that we are safe and we don't take any damage, and then we can just start safe spotting the demon. So I might actually get a few mage levels out of this because it's going to take a wee while to break through all 157 mage experience. But as you can see, we're almost at the end of our Grand Tree quest, so that'll be some fantastic experience at the end. I'll see you then. And an absolutely incredible stroke of luck there, our Draconia Rock, or Duckonia Rock, excuse me, was in the first route that I searched right nearby. Could have been in any one of these here. We could have had to search the whole entire place all the way across to the west as well, but it was the very first one. And we've also got an Evil Bob random event there. It is my lucky day. And there is the completion of our Grand Tree village there. 5 quest points, huge, 20,000 attack experience there, cranks us up a few more levels, 8,000 agility experience as well. You know, from going from basically 9 agility earlier on, less than a couple of hours ago, all the way up to 32 now is a huge gain. And now we can start doing some rooftops if we want. 2150 magic experience, not bad either, and gnome glider access. Another way of transporting around RuneScape here. Honestly, these quests just keep rolling in, and 59 quest points already, stacking them up nice and quickly for our recipe for disaster later on. There we have Jungle Potion completed. I actually only came to Karamja there to pick up some charcoal and a pestle and mortar there from our Karamja general store just to the northwest of here. But I decided we had everything we needed for Jungle Potion, and thank God for the quest helper there which told me to pick up all these extra herbs for later quests. There's 775 herbal experience coming in. We check where that gets us there, from 10 to level 13. A nice wee boost once again. We could of course start Taibo One Eye Trio, but I think we need a few cooking levels for that. I think we need 30, so we'll wait until we cook our trout. For now though, we're just going to head across and get our dig site quest done. Lots of walking ahead for that one, but some great experience once again. And by handing in this, we should have the completion of our dig site quest, 2,000 herbal experience, but most importantly 15,000 mining experience. I know that we were 16 mining beforehand. Let's see what that gets us to. 33 and 19 herblore. Some fantastic early herblore levels there. We obviously want to start getting some of these levels later on, but for right now, getting them through questing is certainly the way to go. On to the next thing. I'm not too sure what we're going to be doing from here, but there's still many more quests that are well worth it at this stage again, that's for sure. We were actually very fortunate with our Priest Imperial quest that the first monument that I studied had the key, so I didn't have to go all the way around. Very lucky. But with the second inventory of Pure Essence, which I mined with a cheeky little iron pickaxe that I got from the dig site quest, we finished the Priest Imperial, get access to Mauritania, plus some extra prayer experience. Very nice. Good as gold. And that of course unlocks quite a few more quests in the Mauritania area. You know, this questing is really paying off dividends for us so far. And here we have level 15 crafting coming in. Nice level 5 milestone. You know, like to get those updates in every now and then as we're looking to our observatory quest, which gives us a whole bunch of crafting experience, which we can use for other areas. Oops, I forgot to smelt them all. Excuse me. I know that we have a lot of uses for molten glass later on as well, so we picked up a few from the charter ships there. The resources required to make it. Take our strange fruit because that does give us some run energy back once it gets back. And then from that we can do our nature spirit quest afterwards as well. Come on now, I'm forever here folks. And what we will do is we're going to head straight across to Port Khazad, which is our nice little teleport. I cannot remember where it is, it's under grouping, isn't it? We teleport across to the fishing trawler, a nice and easy teleport right there, which then gets us close to our observatory quest start, which is quite nice to be able to teleport around the game here. We do have of course the magic level to teleport to Varrock, but not much else. We've still got our Chronicle. We've only got the 8 runes available from our 8 lore runes from, what's it called? The Monk's Friend quest of course. So, you know, we've still got a little bit more to work with before we can really get our teleporting underway, but progress is being made. And here we have Taurus being the constellation that we saw through the telescope. We should get some experience. There we go, 2250 crafting experience, a payment depending on which constellation you observe. super strength, and a sapphire. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Now what does that give us? 20 crafting exactly, which is fantastic. As if I check in here, I believe that is the requirement there for nature spirit, obviously in the end section, which we have started. Excuse me. Oh, we've already started, so we can't actually see it on here, but trust me, it is indeed what's needed. No, hang on, that's for the wrong one. No, do we need it for the... Hang on, why did we need 20 crafting again? Maybe it's for a different quest. We do need to create, as I go across to our weaponry, a silver sickle. So 18 is very good for that at least. And there was another quest that required 20. It's just escaped me for right now. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We're going to be heading across to Ardone. So we'll walk the way back that we came and then head up that way. Traveling to Ardone will allow us to go to our silver stall and pick up some silver ore, which will, of course, we can use as a silver bar, and then make our silver sickle, maybe a couple, who knows, we'll figure it out. So I'm currently working on my Ardone easy tasks here. Go out fishing on the fishing trawler, we're currently doing that, but we also have to have a tin little merchant identify a rusted sword for you. I've decided that you can get it from the fishing trawler, so why don't we do a few games of this, see if we can get the rusted sword this way. Otherwise, of course, we have to go through to Lumbridge and get one from either the dig site quest with a certain level find, or we go back to Lumbridge and maybe start doing so that we can pickpocket from our members there, which I think requires a quest or two. So we're hoping that we can get it here from the fishing trawler, hand it in just over here. That'll be 2 birds with 1 stone, and then of course we can pick up our Ardone cape, which will be a nice upgrade from our current black cape, which is really not doing much for us. So fingers crossed. Let's see how we go. And there we have the first piece of the angler outfit, the angler waders. Very, very nice after, what, like 4 games? Pretty damn lucky. Still no rusty sword just yet, but I'm happy if we get some pieces instead. And there we have 30 wood cutting while cutting down the crack in there. Very nice. And there we finally have the rusty sword. Took a lot longer than expected. Should have just done the quest. Should have just got it from the dig site. Anything else, really? But before I forget, we will quickly give the sword to Tilnil with the money on our person. Trade this across, finish off our easy Ardone diary. What do we get? An iron longsword, absolute trash. Okay, but now we can get our Ardone cape, which is a nice wee upgrade, so we will absolutely do that. And a little bit of experience that we'll either put on agility or herblore. Still undecided, that's not agility, this is agility. So we'll figure that out when we cross that bridge, of course. But I'm going to be doing this for a little bit longer, just to see if I can get another piece of the set or 2, fingers crossed. And here we have the claiming of our lovely Artie cape. Where is she? She's outside here. Okay, 2 points, that's who we speak to. Pick up our easy cape, and indeed, we can get some extra bonuses from it. We'll just get a few cloaks in case we lose one. We make it 5 just to be safe. We've also got our antique lamp, which we'll absolutely go for. And one of the major bonuses, which we're about to take advantage of right now, is that with our easy Ardone diary, we can actually hit across with our cat. Instead of getting 100 death runes, we now get 200. So a massive increase of what we had beforehand. And you know what? With this antique lamp, oh wow, we need level 30. Put this in. Oof. Okay, in that case, I guess we just go for agility. How much experience is that? 2,500. 34 level, very nice, very nice. Yeah, we're going to go trade in for our cat, get a new one, head to Varrock because we're going to do a few things over there, start off in Lumbridge, make our silver sickle, and then we can move across to our nature spirit quest. See you all in a little bit. And here we have the 200 death runes instead of 100, a very, very nice change of pace. And let's not forget as well that our Ardone cloak, as we can see here, it does have a prayer bonus associated with it and some attack bonus, so it's much, much better in that regard, and also has the Kandarin Monastery teleport, so a very nice teleport for Ardone. But why don't we head across to Lumbridge, then across to Alcarad, pick up a lot of our different jewellery molds, then we'll make our silver sickle. And there's our silver sickle made. We'll make 2 just in case we need one later on. Now this is the true mark of an iron person. We've of course got a kitten, we've got the Chronicle Fire Staff, Ghost Speak Amulet was also a wee bit there, but of course now the Artie Cloak just really completes the ensemble. After all that time in the fishing trawler to get our Artie Cape, here we have the completion of the quest and our blessed silver sickle. There we go, 3,000 crafting, 2,000 hit points and 2,000 defense, all the way from 1 defense up to 13. Beautiful. We also get some crafting, boosting. There we go. All those levels, absolutely beautiful. Nearly 500 total level. And this is probably also a good area to tell you here as well, that we have finally started our group Ironman. Yes, we started after the fact. Sample text is the name, of course. Very, very important. We will be getting an additional 3 members here at some point, but we do have to go back and invite them because they are also currently playing Ironman that are low level. That will take some time there before they can then switch back. I think it's a 7-day kind of holdout period that you need to go for before you can actually change your or transition into group Ironman, as we did ourselves here too. So that's why it is a green outline on our little icon down the bottom left hand corner. Regardless, it'll be nice to have some other friends to play along with. However, I do feel like, just in the interest of not getting carried by some of our group members there who are already around 800 plus total level, I'm actually going to hold fire and I won't use the group storage other than depositing items until we get to 1000 total level. So that's right, I'm going to be doing a bit of an artificial limitation on myself, and then later on we will kind of share that with everyone else and I will be able to give as well as take. I think that's a fair way to get about it here without just relying on everybody else. But let me know in the comments below if you agree. Otherwise, yeah, always appreciate your support. And with that, we have the completion of the Creature of Frankenstein quest, 2 quest points, 1000 thieving experience, and the Ring of Karis. The Ring of Karis, of course, will be a very nice ring for later on. 69 quest points, nice. Very, very useful later on as an Iron Man. Save you a bit of money, make people do stuff that they otherwise might not in that way. Get your mind out the gutter. We also picked up some Ecto tokens as well. Those will be useful as well for our other quest, which we might be starting here, Ghost Ahoy. So we'll see if that's our next one to go for. And with that, we should have the completion of Elemental quest. I decided not to do Ghost Ahoy because it was a little bit too annoying to get all the items that we needed. Huge amount of crafting, huge amount of smithing experience there. Brings us all the way up to 29 crafting and gave us a smithing level or 2 as well, I do believe. Very, very nice. And now we can actually go directly into our Elemental Workshop number 2. So why don't we go for that right now? And there we have the completion of the Elemental Workshop number 2, 1 quest point, 7500 crafting and smithing experience, and ability to make mine equipment. We could go for another one. I honestly don't care about it though. I think just having our elemental shield is good enough. 36 smithing, very, very nice. 34 crafting, also great. And the reason why we were going on this crafting grind was so that we could maybe move across to Lost City coming up very shortly. So all we need to do, finish off 36 wood cutting there. We'll see if there are any quests that can get us that way. Otherwise, we'll just go train it a little bit there. Great, great questing achievements here once more. And with that, we have 36 woodcutting, which is our final requirement for the Lost City quest. As we can see, we match all the requirements here now, which is very, very nice. We can start getting our additional teleportation method in the Draymond Staff and the Fairy Rings, but we also picked up 1 bird's nest. Let's see if we get any luck with this seed. Orange tree seed. I mean, we're at the early stages of farming, so still very useful. Our bank at the moment, we're still quite poor. We don't have much to our name here other than quest supplies and a few other bits and pieces, honestly. We did some fishing trawler for a few lobsters and swordfish, that's not too shabby. We also have a beginner clue scroll and I believe a medium clue scroll in here somewhere. We'll figure that out later. But let's go and complete our Lost City quest, shall we? And here we should have the completion of the Lost City quest. I actually just remembered as well that while we get the Draymond Staff here and the access to Xanaris, we don't actually get the access to the rest of the Fairy Rings, excuse me, until the completion or partial completion of Fairy Tale Part 1. So I think that's the ring that we've got just over here, a little bit further away. There we go, right there. So we'll be looking to do that here soon. I think we actually do have the means to finish it off entirely. So maybe we give it a bit of a go. We'll have to, of course, flinch the Tanglefoot Flight or Tangle Route or whatever the hell it's called. But otherwise, we should be absolutely good to go here. So very, very nice. We don't really get much for it except for the access to Xanaris. But of course, Xanaris allows us to buy a Dragon Dagger among other weapons there. So maybe that's something that we'll do later on before we get a Dragon Scimitar. Let's see. Many, many plans. Lots of thought needing to go into this here to figure out what we're going to be doing next. But we're just kind of going with the flow here, and I'm having a good time with it. I hope you all are having a good time watching as well. And here we have another 200 Death Runes being traded in thanks to our cat. Obviously an extra doubling there thanks to our Easy Ardone diary that we also finished recently. Let's go and pick up another cat here as we're running out of what are these called there? The Chronicle charges there. We don't have too many left. And I do believe, if I recall correctly, this is the part of the quest where we find out what 3 items we need to collect for Malignus Mortifier, Uncut Ruby. Okay, that should be easy enough. Joga Bones and a Kingworm. I believe I've even got a Kingworm in the bank. Joga Bones I think should be easy enough to get as well. I think we got very lucky with these 3 items. Ooh, it's a good feeling, it's a good day. Let's see how long it actually takes. Here we have the Joga Bones obtained. Even some big bones, very, very nice. Also an easy task, alright. 2 or 3 birds with 1 stone, love to see it. Joga Bones obtained, 1 of 3 items collected. After checking out the wiki, I actually had a wee look and we can figure out that Mistle and Mystery is the way to collect our uncut rubies. I actually didn't have one beforehand. So now, with the completion of the quest, oh, do I not have enough space? I think that might be the case. Let's destroy some of these. This will be our 2nd item completed and just need the Kingworm left. Now I thought that it was the red vine worm honestly, but the Kingworm is something that we can pick up from the Grand Tree area there. So there is our uncut ruby, item number 2, alongside our Joga Bones. Last stop to make, head across to the Grand Tree area, maybe use our Spirit Tree to get there of course, and then we can continue on with our current quest, Fairy Tale Part 1. Upon collecting the 3rd item needed for the Fairy Tale quest here, I realised that the Kingworm actually has a right click or a left click eat option, which led me to believe, as we do know from the past, these ghast here can turn your foodstuffs into, what is it, rotten food? So I've decided to pick a few extra just in case 1 or 2 gets nabbed across the way. Hopefully that isn't the case, but regardless we should have everything we need to upgrade our secateurs here. Very, very nice. Here we have the Tangle Foot Fight it's called. Okay, there we go. And I also used my Super Strength Potion which I got from my Observatory quest, which does mean that I should be hitting a little bit more frequently than I otherwise would, because of course we only have 1 farming, and this is a very unusual fight in that the damage that you deal is a combination of your strength and farming level. So lower farming does mean less damage, but you know, with a flinching method we can take all day here really. Okay, we should try and avoid taking damage though, of course. And I also remembered that the actual unlocking of the fairy rings is not until partway through level 2, so that's what we're going to be doing, and yeah, for right now this is doing fine. And with Tanglefoot dead, here we have the completion of our first quest in the fairy line here. Very nice, 3500 farming experience takes us from 1 farming all the way up to 17. Bit of attack, bit of magic, and some magic secateurs as well. Very, very nice. We'll start Fairy Tale Part 2 so that we can unlock the fairy rings, and then we're going to leave it there because we have nowhere near the stats necessary. I'm just looking it up in the other tab here. 57 herblore required, not even close. 49 farming and 40 thieving. 40 thieving wouldn't be too hard, but everything else we're not even close to. So yeah, we'll just get the fairy rings unlocked and then we'll leave that one there until much later. There we have the completion of the Into the Abyss mini quest. I decided there that we've been doing far too many quests, so bear with me here for a second. Into the Abyss and a few more other rune crafting quests there will allow us to get up to the recruiting crafting level there, move across to Guardians of the Rift, so we can do some little AFK, do some different content, add a bit of RNG into this run here, into this character. We're going to be doing some rune craft related quests in between now and then. We have 1 rune crafting beforehand, now we're up to 9. You know, not going too bad, so we've got a few more still to go here. Let's see how we fare. And there we have the completion of the Client of Kurin quest, a necessary quest, or prerequisite if you like, for the Ascent of Arceus, which we'll be doing very shortly. And that one will allow us to get a little bit of rune crafting experience as we talked about. Now, for that quest, we also require 12 hunter. We're currently 11 hunters, so if we pop this onto our hunter there, very nice, 500 experience. And we get to use the lamp 1 more time, which honestly I think just the early herblore is always welcome. It's a very slow skill of course on the Ironman, so we've got a few levels there, and now we can go straight into the Ascent of Arceus one. Also we do need 20% Arceus favor, so why don't we read the Kurin favor, chuck it straight on Arceus. I can't actually remember which one's the worst ones, but we'll just throw it right here. 20%, yes, and now we are prepared to go straight ahead to that quest. Very, very nice. And with that, we've progressed far enough into Fairy Tale Part 2 where we can now teleport through using the fairings. This is such a huge unlock here, as we can teleport wherever we want to all across RuneScape. Of course, we've now got our Ardougne Cloak plus our Drayman Staff, which brings us nearby to a fairing, and we can go absolutely wherever we want to. Of course, we'll have to unlock some of these as we go. But in any case, that's going to bring to a close another episode. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please do consider dropping a like and a subscription on the video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye for now there, folks.